Hello guys, welcome back onto the Dutch Couch. I've got to say, Everton Football Club, welcome back. Got a team together there that are playing attractive, fast, technical football, quick combinations. Not had that for years. I've always seen Everton as an outsider, they've won the ball, they've worked hard, huff and puff. I don't think I've seen the optimism amongst the Everton fans like this for years. You've got a world-class stadium. I think it's all coming together at long last. It's been like 30 years since they've won silverware. I'm not saying they're going to win silverware, but those fans there, amazing fan base, they deserve this. And what I believe they will be served up week in, week out now. I think it's coming together nicely. And I'll tell you what, the transfer window for me has been brilliant. I love Keenan Dewsbury. Dictates the pace of the game. He's clever, intelligent. Exactly the sort of player I think Everton have been missing for years. He just puts his foot on the ball, has a look, calms the game down. He's so sensible, so intelligent on the ball. Great signing. Tyler Diblin, for me, in the long run, he'll be an absolute bargain, the money they've paid for him from Southampton. The ceiling for his potential is absolutely humongous. Humongous. I'm looking at, obviously I've made other signings, but for me, the jewel in the crown is only a loan signing, Jack Grealish. Absolute masterstroke by David Moyes coming to get this fella in. He's got a point to prove. He's not been playing first team football, so he's going to be chomping at the bit to play to impress. This guy, for me, is an absolute maverick. And the last few years, I don't care what trophies he's won, his game has regressed so much because he's been restricted. That maverick's been coached out of him. In this system that Pep plays at Man City, he's not gone out there and been able to play his normal game. When he was back at Villa, how many times did you see him run at defenders? Decisive, defence splitting passes. At City, all I saw him do was hug the touchline, receive the ball with his back to goal, pass it back to the fullback. Restrictive football. David Moyes looks like he's giving him freedom to play. I think David Moyes even said yesterday in an interview, the biggest compliment I can give him is, I didn't even realise how good Jack was. That says it all. And you can see after the game, these fans already love him. Everton fans know their football and they love a crowd pleaser. This guy's one of them, and I'll tell you what, this season you are going to get an absolutely rejuvenated, top of his game Jack Grealish. I'm sure of it, really sure of it. I mean, defensively, Everton have, even though they've been relegation threatened the last few years, I've always seen Everton as a really good defensive team. I think Pickford was up there with the top, I'm not sure it was last season before, he won the Golden Glove or was equal. So for a team threatened by relegation to be great at the back, it only shows one thing. They've been either negative to play forward or they've been shocking in front of goal or not created. That's how I see Everton. That is how I see them totally. And now they're playing not just to nick games. The last couple of games I've seen them against Brighton and Wolves, they've played to win, not just to nick a result. They've put their foot on the ball, they've stamped their authority on the opponent, which I've not seen in Everton for a long time. And the spirit there, the atmosphere between the players, I think, is massive. Because I've not always seen a happy camp when I've looked at Everton from the outside. I'm a neutral, right? But with Everton, I've always seen their little niggles in there. Not always played with a smile. Simple as that. If you play with a smile and your manager gives you freedom to play, you get so much more. That's what I'm seeing here. This team, for me, will give these fans something to enjoy, which I don't think they've enjoyed watching this for years. Crazy. But they complement each other so well. These new, I see the front four yesterday. You had Keenan, Dewsbury Hall, Njai, Grealish and Beto. I know Beto, people give him a bit of sticks, he's not the most polished. But I tell you what, playing with these three, I think he's perfect. He's a total opposite. The combination, the mix is perfect. He's a nuisance. He's a bully. He will grab you a goal. He'll get flick-ons. He'll hold the ball up for the runners. I think this works perfectly. I see they lost at Leeds, right, the first game, and I must admit, I thought, God, they look shocking. But then when you look into it more, they had a few players missing and they had players playing out of position. I think Garner, a central midfielder, was playing left back. So you can't really, and obviously Leeds were just newly promoted. The atmosphere was absolutely rocking at Ellen Road. Dubious penalty as well, in my opinion. That was a shocking decision, in my opinion. But they gave it fair play. Leeds scored and you lost the game. But the following games from that, I think the difference in the level that Everton are showing is incredible. The whole team, the whole club, for me, looks rejuvenated. The whole place looks like it's got a lift. I don't know if it's just partly from the new stadium, or they've spent some money in the transfer market and there's a change of faces. But the whole outlook looks better. The fans, I think, for the first time in years, look like they're full of optimism. That's massive, absolutely massive. David Moyes, also, I've got to give him a mention. He's the perfect fit for Everton. He just gets it. He gets the club. The fans get him. The club get him. Just, for me, it's a perfect marriage. I know West Ham fans in the end weren't happy with the style of play and stuff. But I'll tell you what, look at the mess that West Ham are in now and have been since he left. Yeah, it's amazing what job he done there. He bought him a European trophy for a club that club hadn't achieved anything for yonks either. This geezer's top level. He's top level with his man management skills, for me. What sets him apart from a lot of managers. I think he'll put an arm around certain players that need it. He treats each player like a person first. I think that's massive even in elite football. I don't care how much you're earning or what level you're playing at. You need to feel love. This is why I think Jack Grealish will absolutely rock it there. I really hope so anyway for him, because he's such a good player. Love him. But these fans have had to suffer constant disappointment year after year. Even when Carlo Ancelotti came in, that was a surprise to me at the time. They bought these players they had players before like James Rodriguez and all these players, and you're thinking, this is going to come together. But it just wasn't right. It didn't feel right at the time. This feels right. I can actually see a bright future for Everton. And I don't think a lot of their fans have thought that for years, to be honest. Not won anything since 1995 against United in the FA Cup at Wembley. Paul Rideout, I remember that. I was a 15-year-old kid watching that game. But the good times are coming back, I'm sure. I look at the new stadium at Bramley Moore Docks there. Even that, I see so many clubs having new stadiums built now, new modern stadiums. It just doesn't work. They're totally soulless. There's nothing to them. They've got no character. I look at West Ham in particular. That stadium was obviously built for the London 2012 Olympics, but West Ham have moved in there. Half of their I say half, most of their fans absolutely detest the place. Away fans ridicule the place. There's no atmosphere. It's not a football stadium. And that's part of the reason that I think West Ham have absolutely, them owners, what they've moved them there, I think they've ripped the heart and soul out of the club. I think Everton have gone to this new stadium. I've done a video on this a few months ago. I thought Everton are going to struggle here. The fans are going to really feel it. But I tell you what, it seems like it's been seamless. All I've seen is positives about this stadium. They look like they've gone into every single detail to make that place as perfect as they can for this club. Goodison was absolutely magical, that place, but it was old and it was out of date, right? We know that it needed a lot of work and whatever. I'm glad they kept it for the women's games though. Glad they not bulldozing that place. It's absolute church, that place. Love it. But they've managed to just look into every single detail. When they've designed it, there's no stone left unturned. They've made it absolutely perfect for this club. And I think all credit's got to go to the club for that. As much as this club over the years has got stick from its supporters and its fan base for the owners, and rightly so, they've been run poorly at times. I think now they deserve a lot of credit, not just from neutrals like me who absolutely think this is an incredible stadium, one of the best stadiums in the world for me, but the design and the thought that's gone into it. And I think a lot of thought has gone into it with love, and that means a lot. And you're going to get the fruits of that, in my opinion. Over 52,000 capacity. Seems like I went into every detail. I said you about the other clubs, soulless. I can't think on the top of my head now, on one hand, how many new modern stadiums are really absolutely top draw for one, got any sort of character, and represent the club that are in them. I think this Bramley Moore Docks, Hill Dickinson Stadium, just suits them. The atmosphere, I saw the atmosphere the first game of the season there against Brighton. Incredible. I'm not even an Evertonian, but it was spine tingling before the game. When they was playing the song there, Z-Cars is it? Playing the song. The fans were just invested in it straight away. Usually when you go to a new stadium, at first it just doesn't feel right. I remember when Arsenal went to the Emirates, for the first few years, it didn't feel like home. But that just seems a different level. I hate to say it, Tottenham have got a lovely stadium, but that's as nice as you're going to get at me here then. There's no excuses now, though, for Everton, in my opinion. Now they're spending money. They've got the stadium. They've got the facilities. They look like they've got a team here. Like I mentioned yesterday, those front four, as good as they are defensively, those front four, I saw yesterday something I've not seen from Everton for a lot of time. There was the combination play between the forward players was excellent. The rotation, movement off the ball. They were pressing. They were aggressive. I've not seen these things from Everton for a long time. For me, they've been aggressive, but I've always seen Everton as a team who have been a bit slow on the ball. Or they get desperate and they've just pumped it into the box, probably into the mixer on Calvert-Lewin's head. As well as they've got Beto now, it's not just route one. They're playing to feet. They're playing modern football, but they're playing it with good pace. Not like a lot of teams. I've just watched the Arsenal game against Liverpool. That was shocking. Every time you get the ball, look to go backwards. I didn't see that in Everton at all yesterday, and I didn't see it against Brighton either. And I'm hoping this is the way forward, because as much as Moyes gets slaughtered for his style of play, at West Ham in particular, if he's got the players there to play a certain way, he will play to their best qualities. And I think yesterday I saw that. I was really impressed with Everton, massively. The recruitment seems like it's really improving. I think there's been a lot of poor recruitment there over the years. They've spent a lot of money on bang average players, let's be honest. Overpaid on wages for bang average players. Simple as that. But now, I don't know, maybe they've wisened up a little bit. They're not being silly. They're buying actual potential now. They're not buying journeymen or just athletes. They're buying players with absolutely fantastic technical ability, which is going to help with the style of play. Brilliant stuff. Should these fans feel excited? God, massively. I'm looking forward to seeing this journey, and I'm not even an Evertonian. It's madness. But I love to see big clubs with big fan bases who have been loyal through the shit times when they've had seasons and seasons, decades actually, of dreadful performances and constant disappointment, especially when you're looking over Stanley Park and seeing your local rivals constantly winning silverware. It must be demoralising when you're watching some of the most boring football. It must be absolutely awful to see. And literally hearing from your neighbours on the street the bragging rights about it. It must be terrible. But now I just feel these are back. I'm going to really enjoy this coming together. Now I've said all this, they'll probably lose 10 games in a row 5-0. It's typical of me. But no, I'm not going to drone on. Really hope Everton turn it on and keep improving. I'm going to say it, I think they might even get in Europe this year. That'll be a fucking amazing season. Amazing season. Especially bring European football into the new stadium. Brilliant. But yeah, on to the next one. Take care.